Good morning. I got to work on my little red truck again. This is the thing. You get an old beater like that, be prepared. You got to work on it a good bit to keep it on the road. You got to think everything on there has got a lot of miles on it. Well, this particular issue is a previous owner issue. Hooked up to my trailer the other day, had some pine logs on it. I wasn't going real far. I wouldn't pull my trailer very far with that little truck, not with the weight that I had on it. Just for the simple fact, little tiny truck. Definitely going any distance would have used my Silverado, but I figured just put it on down to the dump with the little truck. Anyway, I went to pull off, got about halfway across from the back toward the front of the house and heard a clunk. I said, what in the world is this? So I went back there checking my trailer, making sure my tongue latch and all was good. I reached down and shook it. The whole bumper moved. Well, I got to looking at what it appears that bumper's been welded back on, and not very well done. The weld has broken on one side. My bumper lightly fell off in the yard. I said, golly, it's a good thing it did it here, not going down the highway, even though I didn't have far to go. So today's project is we're going to try to rectify that. We're going to stick this bumper back on and try to reinforce it. Brand new bumper's about $380. I could build a bumper for about the same price by the time I go buy a bunch of steel. And if I was to just dig around and hunt around for some scrap steel to do the job, that might take a couple of months. I need the bumper now. So I'm going to try to salvage the one that's on it. It's an old beater truck, so I ain't too awful worried about how it looks. I just want to make sure that bumper's going to stay there when I hook a trailer to it. But we got a problem this morning as far as tackling this project. Old southern boy here, I don't like cold weather. But once you look at this, don't know if you can even see that. It's kind of bright. Anyway, in case you can't see it, that says 24 degrees. I don't do 24 degrees unless it's an absolute 100% requirement for my job. So, y'all northerners can pick at me all you want to. I am going to let the sun come up a little bit better and warm up a little bit before I get out there and tackle this job. And if y'all want to talk too much junk, I fully invite y'all to come on down here in August. We'll get out there in the middle of the river with no shade and we'll fish all day long at 102 degrees and 85% humidity. And then y'all will whine just as much as I'm whining about this cold weather. I'll let you in a short when it's warmer. Safety first. Front wheel chocked. Truck's in gear. Emergency brake pulled. We got the back end on ramps just to give me a little bit extra room. Those are some really nice ramps with their motivational stuff. There we go. Now I can get my fat butt up under there and knock these bolts loose and we can get this bumper off. I don't know if I ever showed y'all this, but people tailgating the crap out of me, so I welded me a anti-tailgating device on there that has actually got me pulled over by a highway patrolman and a DOT officer. Oh well, they thought it was funny. It keeps people off my ass. There's what we're working with. This is rough here. Oh, see that? I don't know if you can see that good. Really crappy welding was done. Put the light back where it belongs. Hey, come on, stay, booger, stay. It's gonna be one of them days. Stay your butt right there. Alright. See, all that crap was broke. What I believe is previous owner, bless his heart, believe he got the truck stuck and he got somebody to snatch it out, and I think they snatched the bumper off and then did a very not so great job re-welding it with some very thin steel to weld it back in. And if you look at this side, that's some world-class welding right there. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm gonna try to salvage the thing. I'm gonna take all this off. I'm gonna clean it up, see if I have enough left to tack it in place. Get it tacked, put the bumper back on, make sure everything lines up, that the bumper's sitting level. And I've got some 3/8 inch steel plate that we're gonna go back in and replace it with. That should be enough strength for what I need. And we're gonna do a little bit better than that there bubblegum shit. Alright, let's get to it. I believe that's 19 or 20. We soon find out. Well, there ain't a whole lot left there. Not a lot to work with. And it looks like that's exactly what they did, was snatch the bumper off, either trying to pull on something they weren't supposed to, or got it stuck and snatched on it with something else they weren't supposed to. I don't know. That's a pretty rough job there. There's not enough left. There's not much left. There's not much left as I would like to see. So that's going to make this repair not as neat and clean as I'd like to make it. I think my best bet's going to be to go ahead and clean everything up as good as I can. Get this tacked right here. Try to flatten some of this stuff out. Some of this stuff down here, try to flatten it out and clean it. And then get a plate on it. That 3/8 inch plate would be plenty to hold it. And I might be able to do something similar on this side to kind of reinforce it. That's some really shitty welding right there. Some of that bubble gum stuff. I'm not claiming to be the greatest welder in the world, because I'm not. I feel like I can do a little bit better than that. It's just that gap worries me right there. I'm probably going to end up just buying a new bumper here soon. But I'm going to see what I can do with this. So there ain't much of anything to work with here. There's a mess missing. They had tried to fill a gap with weld. That didn't work out. All kind of stuff going on here. That wasn't a real good repair job. Got a feeling I know who did it, but oh well. So that being said, I'm going to tack this back together strong enough to where I can pull my little trailer just to the dump. In the meantime, as you can see, this side is pretty shit up. In the meantime, while this is stewing, I'm going to scrounge me up some metal, and I'm going to make a whole new bumper like I want it. And see, that little cover came off down there, and it's rotted out all around it. This bumper's pretty much shot. This bottom piece, it's still got enough meat left on it that I can pull the trailer just to the dump. That's it. Won't be pulling the boat or nothing like that. But in the meantime, I'll take some measurements, write them down, so I'll be able to make me a new bumper. In the meantime, let's patch this thing up. I really don't know if I've ever showcased this or not. Let me make an adjustment here. I used to have a really nice welding setup. Hurricane Matthew took care of that for me. And then, 18 months later, Hurricane Florence took care of all my replacement tools too. Learned a lot about homeowners insurance at that time. Yeah, it's a scam. Anyway, this is a little Lincoln Century. It's a brand name Century made by Lincoln. It's a little 120 volt flux core welder. The dang thing does excellent for little homeowner stuff. You know, I'm not out here building big stuff. I just repair in here and there. I leave the big welding at work. If I need something big, I'll carry it to work with me. But for what it is, this is an excellent little flux core welder. It runs DC, not AC, which is ideal for flux core. I've got no complaints with it. Runs great. Small. It is only 20% duty cycle, so you ain't gonna sit there and run no big, heavy, half-inch wide, 6-inch long beads with it. You ain't gonna do that. You just don't have the ass for it. But as far as just a little homeowner's welder, this is the way to go. Do not waste your money, in my opinion. This is my opinion. Don't waste your money on the Harbor Freight stuff, because most of those Harbor Freight flux core welders, they're AC, and AC is terrible for flux core because it spatters like it can be, and you don't get half the penetration that you should get out of a flux core. This does okay. I do have plans when I build a new shop, go back and get my good stuff back in here. But in the meantime, this little thing does a really good job as long as you use good wire, and I only use Lincoln wire. I tried some of that Blue Demon. Nah, it don't work too good. ESOB wire works really good when you can find it. Hobart wire, none of it really runs as good as the Lincoln wire. I run 35 thousandths wire, and it works great. All right, let's get set up and get rolling. All right, let's get at it. Sun's killer this morning. Now it's time to cut a little plate, put it in the back, see if we can somewhat get this thing back together. It ain't gonna be pretty, I ain't happy with that. But we're gonna build a good one. That's what I need. There, that sun's butchering. One day I'm gonna buy some decent cameras. One day, maybe I don't make no money off of this mess, so I ain't spending money I don't need to spend. But this is what I need. Let's go pick up a little piece of steel from under the bench. And I'm stuttering this morning. It's still cold. Country boy don't like cold. Wah, as my wife would say. So we're gonna make this, and we're gonna piece it back together. Alright, here's where we're at. Got a little plate made right there. Got it tacked down there, got it tacked right there. Got a clamp on it because it's kind of an uneven surface. I have to do a little bit of gap filling in there. I don't know if you can see that. The sun's killing me this morning. But yeah, we're gonna buzz that in, throw some paint on it. It'll hold until I can build another bumper, and I plan on building a better bumper. I'll make a video out of that. And this is that other side that I cleaned up. Not a lot I can do with it. I'm gonna try to fill some of them gaps, clean it up, try to get a better penetration, a little bit better weld on that. I don't know how that's gonna work out because that's some dirty steel and it's kind of hard to get to it to really, the only real thing to do would be grind it all the way off, but I just don't have time for that today. So we're gonna try to reinforce this side a little bit and put that plate in, put the bumper back on, and we'll be in business, at least until I decide to get stuff together to build another one. Let's get at it. Yeah, well, let's see what we got. Alright, there's where we at. Not the prettiest work I've ever done. Got a little overheated right there, but didn't have a whole lot of room to swing around. We got us a bead down the bottom. We got a bead down the back into the little crotch. I ran 2 root passes on this particular top weld, followed up by a cover pass. And as you can see, there's still some remnants of that old crappy weld that was left earlier. That'll hold. It's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more, hit it with some paint. Then I'm gonna run a little bit across this. Then we're gonna put her up and call it. Yeah, there's the other side. I decided, instead of just trying to tack on to what all that crap was there just to begin with, I went ahead and ground it off. And I laid a root pass, 2 adjacent passes, and then ran a cover pass. And she's looking a lot better. She's a hell of a lot more solid than she was to begin with. Not the prettiest welding I've ever done, but she's gonna hold. I don't think she's going anywhere, not until I build a new one. So there's our bumper repair for the old Shitsubishi. Now we're gonna clean her up, clean the bumper up a little bit, hit it with some paint, and put her back on. Alright, there we go. She's pretty doggone solid now. She ain't going nowhere. I say as solid as she can possibly be. But, yep. We had to build us a new bumper. We'll get started on that sometime soon. Y'all have a good day.